All right, my friends, I'm joined by David. I'm going to grab his, he's just going to be here for a second. Actually, we'll just have
Oh,
him as a voice for the moment. He'll
a
just be a
voice.
voice.
Hopefully not a horrible echoing voice.
Oh, yeah. I do
Yeah.
have headphones if it becomes like that. But
All right.
he wants to go do other things anyway. And Kostya got so mad at us last time, and we didn't know that we were having the grand echo. We didn't know. So let me just preface this. I also want to apologize to David because so what's been going on is Kostya has had these back-to-back tournaments, which makes the grad show very hard to do. I got COVID, so I'm like missing one grad show, from last week. And so if I don't get on here and do some stuff,
Yeah.
oh man, I'm already way behind. And then we're about to
Woo.
make this announcement, dude, about the ratings because everybody's getting shifted around. And that might produce maybe a whirlwind of graduations that could end my life. It could end my life. So
Yeah.
I figured we'd just do that. David, though, I want to ask you. So you're doing this really cool Olympiad coverage,
Yeah.
and
Trying to cover the Olympiad here. It's one of my very, very favorite tournaments of all chess tournaments. Um, Maybe just my favorite period, personally. Um, I've always enjoyed watching it. So yeah, I want to cover what I can. Unfortunately, the hours are a little awkward for me because they're playing as I have to be serving my kids breakfast and taking them to school, right? So there's kind of like a hot hour in the morning where, or at 1 to 2 hours where it's
well,
kind of
not only that, but like our stream is besetz, dude, by Kostya.
yeah. Well, that's something for us to ideally discuss on Discord, not on stream.
Well, I'm just saying I don't know what there is to discuss. That German kid is on here all the time. Wait, I don't have any problem with it. It just makes it hard to do other things.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
Lots going on in the dojo, though, man.
yeah. So
Lots of
I'll
things going
cover
on.
what I can, but and I'll also cover stuff after the fact, if I have to. If I have to cover some of it asynchronously, right? Like I'll just go over some of the best games from the day
Yeah, yeah,
uh,
yeah.
when the round's over. So, but yeah, now we got to give our props to the grads, right?
Yeah.
Props to the graduates. Good work, people.
Yeah, let's do a one or two, and then you can leave whenever you want. But here we go. This is Maya's Dado, graduating 6 to 700. Doesn't say anything about themselves. And oh, look at that. A pretty easy rating thing going on. They're pretty recent, so they might not have much activity or games. Oh, they got some. Oh, this person, dude, they joined. They did all kinds, dude.
Whoa!
They did all kinds of stuff. First, let
Jump
me.
straight in. Look at all those uploaded games.
Yeah, dude. And
Woo!
already part of a bunch of clubs. I mean,
Okay.
they joined like, let's say 3 weeks ago. They joined. So this
Yeah.
is super cool.
They're part of chess dads and moms. Which do you think they are, a dad or a mom?
Well, he's a Maya's dado. His kid
Yeah.
is named Maya. I get it
Yeah.
now. It took me a second.
Yeah. Took me too. But yeah, I think we've got a dad on our hands. And
We got a dad in our hands, dude.
good luck, dad, because I bet Maya's going to be good pretty soon. So,
One thing about he might be stuck at home too, which would be really a cool time to do some chess while the kid's asleep or whatever.
oh man, when I
Do
was
some.
stuck at home with these like mini naps that they wake up after 5 minutes, that's
Yeah.
when I had to play bullet chess instead of classical, Jesse. It was a
Right, right.
dark, dark period.
Oh, now let me switch. See, actually, just see. Okay, we don't have the time now. See, this is something very important. I have to remember to switch scenes, or else everything goes bad. Okay.
By the way, folks, any issues with the audio? Am I echoing like crazy? If you don't warn us, we're gonna get slammed
And
later.
then Kostya will get on us, dude. He'll be like, "I told you guys so many times." So first, Maya's Dado, I like your development. And there are GMs even who will play this move A6. I don't like it because it gives up tempi.
Mm.
But,
Yeah,
I understand.
the fiend doesn't approve, but
The
understood.
fiend doesn't approve. H3, I don't approve. G4, I don't approve. I would tell white, I would see like bows, you need to bring out your pieces. Usually we bring out your C pawn first, but you were doing fine, Maestro. You were doing fine. That's a little weird, but I'm still okay. Okay.
Well, I would say this in terms of consistency. A6 is largely played in order to play that C5 move, so.
Right.
But it's a lot of time, and this way, Dado brought out some pieces.
Where Maya's Dado is, boss, for me, as long as he doesn't hang anything and he consistently brings out his pieces, I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah.
So like this one, C6, you're kind of helping your queen, but, what do we want you to do? We want you to castle. We want you to castle. Okay, knight A4.
Do you think that, do you think that it's possible that Black was afraid because of the G-pawn, afraid to castle?
Maybe something like that, yeah. And I approve of all this. This is okay. Castles. Okay. Now, by the way, one of the things I just want to give a shout out to you for here is you have played here 15 moves and nobody has hung anything yet. Right? Yeah. We're about to hang something. I see it. But to get 15 moves without hanging something, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Here we want you to either castle or play bishop b7, c4.
And there's also an interesting move a5, to put the bishop on a6.
Yeah, that would have been good too. But here we have our first miss, and basically, for you, Maestro, to get to the next level, it is avoiding mistakes like this. We can talk all kinds of fancy things, but this is the one right here that's going to kill you. But your opponent doesn't see it.
They wanted to develop, right? Good intentions.
And then here again, maybe this is something psychological because you're just refusing to castle. You're just refusing. And now after rook g8, the lady that we call this the vampire coming to the wedding, and she's there to stay. She's not going to go away,
Uh-oh.
Yeah. And then she gets really angry here. Boom. Ay, is right.
Jesse, I think the G-pawn, and you didn't approve of G4 by Chet, but I think that G-pawn scared Black out of castling kingside. They thought, I'll castle straight into this attack, and bad things will happen to my king, and now check out the king.
That's right, dude. Well, as we tell the people, we say castle early and often, Castle early and often. Okay, but I want to say I think you're making good progress, and it's going to be misses like this, rook b8 and queen h7, that you need to work on. Those are the things you need to work on. If you can figure that out, then you are going to be much improved.
Well, what's nice is I think the decisive mistake in this game was this move right here, knight f6. Right? And you can see that Maya's Dado thought the most about that point if you look at the comments, right? That's where he stopped and thought about it the most. And you can see in the comment that they found the defense king f8 in the aftermath of the game.
Yeah, that's great, yeah.
So that's really good if you're finding your key mistake was knight f6 and what the improvement would have been king f8. That's good work.
Yeah, and another thing I want to say is if this were a later cohort, I would want them to say some stuff about moves 1 through 15. But where he's at, like it really is the stuff where it's hanging, and that's where he annotated. So good job. All right, I'm going to mark that bad boy as reviewed, and we're going to go on to the next one. Lacralos says, I'm happy for my second graduation here at the dojo. After being stuck for a few weeks, I went on a huge win streak to break into the next cohort. I've been hacking away at Polar Mates and the exercise in everyone's first chess workbook using a spaced repetition approach, reviewing the ones that I get wrong multiple times until I can solve them consistently, which has been a lot of fun. I also found a training partner with which to play OTB games and get more practice. Oh, this guy's doing great.
This person's going to keep going. They've got a training partner.
Yeah.
I don't need to hear any more.
Overall, I felt like, my games become more solid at this level. I really can just wait for the opponent to blunder his pieces. Yeah. And watching Jesse's aggressive repertoire speed run, where he does exactly this to win half of his game, has been a guilty pleasure of mine. Guilt? You should feel guilt for watching that garbage. Come on. Empty calories over here. All right, let's look over here at Lacralos here.
Let's see if they play the aggressive repertoire.
Oh, Italy. That's where Kostya is. You should go say hi to Kostya.
Yeah.
And actually,
Look at that heat map.
I was
That's
just
like
gonna say the same thing,
woo.
man. There it is, the heat map. Oh, I'm in the wrong, dude. I'm so sorry. See, I didn't switch the business correctly. I gotta switch the business.
Ooh, that's smooth.
Yeah.
I would have told you if I knew you could do it that easily.
Well, it's the hard part is I have to remember, and when you're a guy like an old guy like me, you might not remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have a lot. This is new, by the way, and we have a lot of debates about how this should look. And what we're really wanting to do is to ask people, how much do you want to work, and then do you want to log that work weekly or daily, and then that would be what it reflects. So if you only have 20 minutes a day, and that's what you want to do, boom, that's what the heat map will show, whether you hit that 20 minutes or not. Or if you want to say, I want 5 hours a week, or I want 10 hours a week, then that's what the heat map. Anyways, this is a work in progress. Lacrolos is doing great. Done some tactics and checkmate tests, killing the checkmate tests. That looks pretty good.
Ooh, 1200.
Yeah. Doing real
Now,
good.
you're gonna have this person on again in a month or two. On the
Oh,
grad
yeah.
show.
Oh, bringing the pizza. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, activity, looking very nice indeed. Look at that. And then we'll go to games. And this person's also done several games. So let's check out this first one. There's an OTB against a friend. Ooh, and I have to remember, I'm about to forget. Bang. And OTB, like we were talking about, OTB against a friend. So that's really cool.
Nice, good view switch, and advanced variation against the Caro. It's the aggressive repertoire.
There we go. But well, he said it was his guilty pleasure. Now this is one of the, I think, harder variations to know how to play this for white, because basically if white is casual and lets the bishop come out and this all happen, then black will be fine. So we need to create some kind of grief for black so that doesn't happen. And this move isn't bad, because now we are going to tell black that we might just protect that pawn. H6, complete loss of time. Yeah, and one of the things that I kind of harp on is how people lose time, especially at this level, and this is a clear example of it.
Oh, Jesse, I bet that this black player was waiting for knight f3 to play bishop g4.
I guess, dude.
I bet they were just playing the waiting move. They're like, I can't play e6 yet. I can't play bishop g4 yet, so I can't move anything.
Yeah.
So if white had played some move like, a3 or something, black would have just been like, oh man, stop tune-songing me.
Now here f4 is okay. I think you could play a move like bishop e3 or knight. I don't know about knight c3, actually. Maybe bishop e3 is the simplest. But f4, I'm going to say I approve, because it's going to be very difficult now for black to get their business back. Yeah. Check doesn't help. Thank you very much. And then he blunders this. Good move. Actually, I want to give you special props. What I like most about this move is you could have taken first, but that would have released the pressure a bit. And so I like queen d4 a lot.
Yeah. In fact, Jesse, show bishop c6, pawn c6, queen d4, bishop a6.
Right. Yeah.
And you could imagine at this level that could cause a lot of grief for white to figure out their business.
Yeah. So yeah, that's great. And I like that you didn't bother to defend the c2 pawn. If they want to lose 1,000 tempi, let them lose 1,000 tempi. Look at e6. b4. Oh, that's a nice move. That's like an in-your-face, get-out-of-town move right there, buddy.
Wow.
Get out of here, buddy. Queen d8. Look at this guy. This is a man comfortable with pins, dude. He is comfortable with pins. Look at that.
Wow, that queen is just sitting there.
Just sitting there, bud. Just sitting there. King e7. This guy doesn't. Well, he just doesn't. Okay, so when you play at this level, let me just be clear. you're gonna get people who hang stuff, and you're gonna get people who give you tempi for free. And here we definitely have some tempi for free. And now I'm gonna yell at you a little bit, but take it with a grain of salt. You've kept not taking that knight for so long that I really want you to now whack. I really want you to just put that queen down there, slap.
Slap it.
But you decide to slap him like this, which is also pretty good, it's got to be said. And now you go CD, looks good.
Oh my goodness, that is a
A3.
pawn structure.
Yeah.
That is a pound structure.
Oh, now he finally does it. Bang. Let's get another tempo. Bang.
Oof.
Let's go knight A4. B5, also pretty good. This guy's pieces ain't developing. Rook AC1. This guy's killing, dude. Killing.
Yeah.
This is what we call
It's
check.
not going to last much longer, Jesse.
No. Check to the miserable king. Watch this one. Check to the miserable king. Watch this one. Check to the miserable king. Check to the miserable king. And then he wants the mate, but then, queen A8 was good enough. Oh, that was a beautiful game. That was a beautiful game.
That was a mismatch, Jesse. It was a clubbing.
Well, at least according to this, Plinior was higher rated. So there you go. That was really well done. So I think this person is this is Lacrolos here, who's got his training partner, doing the OTB, doing all the right work, and the improvement is showing. Second graduation.
You want to check, switch your scene?
Oh, thank you. See, this is why we keep you around. Okay. David, you got to do this show with me more often, man. I feel like, I've been doing it so long, I just start saying the same things, people tuning out. They're like, cry, I've done this before. Yeah, it's good to have you around here.
They're like, whack, 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 graduate. Got it.
And Grand Matty Chess is in the chat, and he wants me to look at one of his OTB games, which we'll do. First up, though, is Iceman, and he says, found the Dojo under 1800 tournament. Game's very helpful. This is something David's been working on to get this tourney going. Over the past year, I feel that the Dojo program and the recommended reading material has made me a better and more thoughtful player. Well, there we go.
Nice. And we've got Lacquer iOS here as well.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Great game, Lacquer.
That was a great game. Okay. Now, look, there's another heat map that actually looks pretty good. You could tell there was a summer vacation in there.
Yeah.
You see that
Iceman
summer vacation?
bringing the heat.
Well, he melted in summer, man. He
melted
in the
summer, but they're back. They're back.
Definitely a nice rating jump there. And we got some check tactics and checkmate tests. Okay. And let's see, we got some clubs. Never too late. Oh, yeah, he's one of us old people. There we go.
I like the bio. It shows that Iceman is organized. Tackle one thing, check off a task, tackle the next thing.
The pool of chumps.
A clean mind.
A clean mind. Yeah, there we go. Oh, and we got some great games here. Here's Plight. So, Dojo under 1800. So here we go. So far, so good. So far, so good.
Is this the right scene now?
Oh, thank you. Thank you for telling me. See, this is, I think, I so enjoy talking to you, David. I'm not even thinking about it, and I got to be thinking about the small things. Now, one thing, you'll see is you're playing somebody who has no business learning openings, but I can tell that this is somebody, if you play that move, you've seen it in a book or something. And it's not a development move. It's not a bad move, but if you really need to know why you're making that move, if you're going to do it. All right, here we go. Castles.
Yeah. I'm not sure I know why White makes that move. Now that you mention it. I mean, I've seen Karpov versus Kasparov, very famous game where all White's pieces end up on the first rank. I've seen some games in the same ish, but I can't say I really understand the move f3 myself.
Well, okay. I mean, I'm going to say some dogmatic things. You've heard them all before. F3 dominates the knight. And in the King's Indian, this bishop, it's the best piece because these pawns are on light squares, and oftentimes this one goes here. So it's white's best piece. But it sometimes has a trouble finding a spot where it's not attacked because it really doesn't want to be traded. So f3 creates a nice square for that bishop too.
Yeah.
And then sometimes we might launch out with g4. Sometimes, depending on how things go. Actually, it's funny to think about understanding and chess in this position because when I was a kid, I was obsessed with a system of development here because no one, taught me really chess. I just kind of saw it. And I was into this really barbaric thing of, mating. I was really into the idea of mating.
Oh yeah.
But I was kind of disappointed when guys like Botvinnik did not try to mate. I was like, what are they doing? What are they doing? And
They just didn't know your sauce.
they didn't know my house.
But you can't blame them.
But for example, no one told me that black side of the board is the king side. No one told me about that, dude.
Well, nobody told Iceman either, because here they're playing c6 on the queen side.
Yeah. This is actually a known thing. So maybe he's following some crazy theory too.
Trying to take back the queen side. Wow.
And the plight is just going for it, dude. He don't care. He's playing Kraai, when I was like in 1900. This is what I did.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Wow. Saying that black won't be able to take the center apart fast enough.
Yeah. A very interesting position. Definitely c5 is a loss of tempo, and after h5, I do think you have severe grief.
Yeah.
So I think, at least intuitively, the correct way to do this is to probably either take first and then play h5, or h5 directly.
I mean, in theory, what black attacked white's center, right? Undermined it from the side, from b5 to c6. White said, I can ignore that and just throw my stuff at your king.
Right.
As black, to me, it's consequent to try and explode the center.
Yeah.
That's basically, there's the famous thing about the best response to a wing attack is something about the center. I don't even know the word now.
Oh, come on. I'll tell it to you, man.
Tell us.
It's an attack on the wing is met by an attack in the center.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. So the attack in the wing should be met by an attack in the center. And black was attacking the center before white even started the attack in the wing, right? So keep going with your thing.
So keep going with your thing, yeah. Now they're complaining about the voice, dude. So if
Uh-oh.
Oh God, yeah,
Oh,
Jesus, what have we done now, man?
It's got the correct mic.
It might be my weird thing where I need headphones or something. I'll tell you what, XD.
Oh, the echo chamber.
Oh,
Jesse,
God. All right, I'll tell you what. Let's do this as a science experiment. Let me pull this out. You entertain them while I get this thing up.
Well, I don't know if the echo can be entertaining. But two American accent. We both have American accents. My accent sounds so American that it's like I'm in a bathroom. Is that the deal? You guys want to hear the chorus for an unreleased chess rap song that I'm working on right now? It goes like this. The tournament circuit can be a real grind, but we all leave a couple bright stories behind. Losing lots of games can cause a lot of hate, but I got a lot of love for the copper state. There, that song should be out in the next month. Did you learn it? Did you learn the chorus yet? I'll give it to you a second time. The tournament circuit can be a real grind, but we all leave a couple bright stories behind. Losing lots of games can spawn a lot of hate, but I got a lot of love for the copper state. There you go. Hopefully now you know it.
All right, but now help me out here. So I got my daughter's headphones on because they seemed cool because they're pink.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
now I
Nice.
gotta, how do I,
Well, there should be a cord that comes out of the headset, and you stick the cord into a hole in the computer.
I put it into the mic,
Okay.
but I'm still actually, hold on. I know what, first thing I need to do is I need to shift.
You stuck it into your microphone, or you stuck it into a jack in the computer?
Okay, now it's in my, my mic. Oh, okay. So guys, can you give us, say something, David, and tell us if it's better.
Yeah, folks. Am I still in the bathroom or the echo chamber, or did that do the thing?
Buddy says he likes it, dude. He says he likes it.
Seems
For
to be better is a little equivocal.
Well, David sounds amazing. See, there we go.
Oh,
There we
thanks,
go, man.
Pepper.
Yeah. Well, at
No more
least,
bathroom accent.
well, maybe this is going to work out for us because this was a technical issue that we got yelled at for.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So, any case, I think a good way for that I would put it is we need to be very careful not to let this rook be developed with the move h5. We want to prevent the rook from being developed.
Yeah.
All right, so c5, and now we're in a little pain. a5. And now this,
My instinct, Jesse,
yeah.
might be completely insane, but my instinct would have been to trade once on d5, and if white recaptured, to maybe just sack a piece on g4.
Okay, yeah.
Like I see this CD-ED line suggested by Iceman, which I give them credit for. Now here you would probably play h5,
I would think about your
right?
move, but you
But
are an insane person.
but to me, this bishop g4 move also makes some sense because we've got 3 or 4 pawns by now, and we're sort of stopping the h5 move. And yeah,
Yeah. And so c5, very slow, and this should be a stern reminder that you're going to get mated. Now, white makes a mistake here, I feel, and releases the tension early, and that's going to allow black the ability to defend laterally. See, until
you've got a lot of experience launching this mating attack, so you can tell us how it should be done.
well, yeah, you want to play bishop h6 first.
Uh-huh.
So that, because you don't want, okay, so for example, snip, snap, it happens in the game, actually. And now the rook gets to be here, and that's much better than the king. If in the other way, if we had done it, we could have forced the king here, and then the lady landed the check.
Yeah. You know the song "I Can Be Your Hero"?
No, but you're about to sing it to me.
Oh no, I was hoping you would sing it for us. The rook on f7 is going to be the king's hero now, right?
That's right, yeah. Okay, yeah, definitely we need to develop, I think, knight b7. A4, it's got its points. What am I going to say, a3?
Oh yeah, direct. I like it. But it looks like Iceman wasn't satisfied with a4. Pushing this isolated pawn doesn't achieve anything. Well, I mean, white answered it with a3 because they were afraid you were going to achieve a lot by playing a3. So I think your move was fine.
Yeah, what I don't like, actually, is your rook is doing double duty. Your other rook wants to do something.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, what are we doing? Oh! Well, let me give my speech, David. At this level, it's not going to be all this fancy garbage that me and David are talking about. We
were
enjoy
talking way
talking
too
about
fancy
fancy
stuff.
garbage, but really it's about just hanging pieces. And so this is obviously going to be the end here.
Although you were right about the double duty in a sense, Jesse, right? Because you said you're bringing the rook to attack the queen side, and then you're forgetting the rook was supposed to, be recapturing on g7 and defending.
Right? There you go, yeah. All right, can white figure it out? They're doing some fancy things.
Yeah.
They're kind of pendling around. It eventually cracks through, and that's what we call crispy critters right there.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Okay, well let's stop there. That was good, Iceman.
Yeah.
We are, and again, the fancy stuff is useful, but what's going to get you to the next level is not making a move like King f7.
The
That's my
fancy
feeling.
stuff is what gets us tired, what uses up our mental energy and takes our attention, and then oops, we miscalculate something. Even for IMs, I can say it's sort of the same thing. Like you spend 30 minutes thinking about something fancy and then 30 minutes thinking about the next fancy thing, and eventually you hang something. You overlook a move.
All right, David, you need to answer this question from Warren, and then we're going to look at Grand Matty chess.
Yeah.
David switches up his openings all the time. He's freaking out, man. Okay, Grand Matty Chess says, win on a really bad blitz streak for the last month or two. Big shame.
Jesse, your
Yeah.
screen.
Oh, thank you, thank you. See, that's why we keep you around. So here we go. Big shame for the blitz streak. Stopped playing it 3 weeks ago, and my rapid jumped 70 points. Happy to finally advance to the 800 and 900. Need to log my time going forward. Also want to hit the books more than I have since joining the dojo. And Grand Matty Chess, I believe, is still in the chat with us.
If stopping playing blitz increased their rapid, it's probably that they started taking more time, would be my guess. That not playing all the blitz games, just their body or their habits relax, and they probably started taking more time in their rapid games. Because if you play a lot of blitz and rapid, you might sometimes play your rapid games at a blitz speed.
One thing is, you look at this. He really diagnosed himself well because he's had this great graph of improvement, and then he had his bad blitz streak. Yeah. Oh man, he had the disease. I had COVID last week, and that's kind of how my life was. It just kind of went down, a flat line, and went down a little bit, just like the blitz streak here with Grand Matty Chess. We want to see Grand Matty Chess do some tests. Let's see some clubs. New York City. Okay, there we go. Activity. Lots of work being done. Looks great. Mostly games and some tactics. Let's click on the tactics. Yeah, there we go. That looks good. And now we're going to go to the games. And he wants an OTB game, so I just want to make sure. Let's do this one with Jim Aisha. Maybe he is Jim Aisha, actually. What do we know? He's Scott. Matthew Scott. And here, David's about to yell at me to switch scenes, but I did it. I did it before he yelled at me. First OTB victory. Okay, here we go. All right. So, I would definitely call it a developing move. Yeah. And your opponent's playing a setup called the Stonewall. Yeah, and your opponent tells you this after the game, and it's not terrible. I don't like I think he has mild problems with his move order, but it's fine. One of the things about learning fancy openings that's a problem for Jim Aisha and others like him is you're kind of going to be doing fancy stuff and breaking the principles, right? So F4, you're kind of breaking some principles here because it's not clear that that's a developing move. Bishop E7 is fine. This move gives white a little bit more of a question because here I'm going to take, and you cannot do this because you blocked it with your knight. That's why I thought it wasn't a great move order. And if you do it this way, then a later knight before, maybe even now, will be a little bit annoying. But okay, Bishop E7, pop, good, fine. And there he comes with his plan, Bishop B7. And I like White's next move, actually, Queen F3. There's other moves, but I like that one because it's really important for White to understand that we want to keep this bishop out of the game. And the way it gets in the game is if I somehow can go up, take, and then a plop. For example, if he had played the more, stereotypical move, then I could have done my little plop. And then you can see my bishop's working. doing
In the
something
background.
in the background. I like to call it, think of it like a helicopter parent. He's over there at soccer practice, and a lot of times at soccer practice you're not doing anything, but sometimes maybe you can do something if you're supportive. But until you play 94, that bishop ain't being supportive on the side of the field. Okay, so here we go. CD and CD. This is a mistake. White definitely, and I think CD is also a mistake because ED could have allowed this bishop more scope, which is one of White's central problems. Now I want to say about this huge thing, we're talking in the chat about the demotions that are going to happen. And it should be say, it's not going to be thousands that will be demoted because, technically thousands, but a lot of those thousands are people who aren't really active. Like they created an account at one point in the dojo, and then for whatever reason, because we've been here for so long. Okay, anyways, I'll leave that. C takes, and this allows us counterplay with knight b4. I think we should play knight b4 immediately because if we don't and we play it here, White actually plays a good move to stop knight b4. I don't think a3, well, at least I would say don't play a3 to play b4, play it to stop knight b4. Okay, now knight e5. This is a very controversial move because now when this f-pawn goes down, the rook is going to be developed. So when we talk about Federico the f-pawn, way back here, it's a controversial move. It's not clear that anybody's getting developed with it. However, if the rook ever appears on f1 and we take or move it in some fashion, then the rook will be developed, and that's exactly what goes down over here. I would have preferred knight a5, making him think about knight c4. I think White's still maybe in charge, though. It's a little bit hectic, but maybe he's still in charge with a move like b3.
I mean, what if White plays b4, Jesse?
Oh, good
Can
point.
you actually play knight c4?
Oh, good point. So, yeah, we're in trouble. This is why they've been making a good point. I'll just show that. So I was thinking knight c4 was a thing, but no. No lo puedo. So, here, yeah, it was a big moment when we had knight b4 because we are going to land the doggy, and then Black's got counterplay. Okay, so a3, snip, back. Now here, let me just say, this is a good example to think about attack where really Black is in big trouble because White has a huge force count against the Black king, and really Black, these pieces are not helping in the defense of the king. g3, horrendous move.
And if you're not helping,
and if you're not helping,
you're hurting.
You're hurting. So more, usual would be like queen h3 followed by knight f3.
Yeah, queen h3, glorious move.
So that makes no sense. And now you go for it. Correctamundo. So notice, excuse me, I'm not supposed to do this on air. I'm not supposed to be chewing this ice. But queen h3 would prevent f6 because we're looking at this bad boy in addition to that bad boy. So well done. And now you're turning the game around.
Yeah. I mean, it's fairly advanced, but since we've got it here on the board and Scott correctly played it, I think we can say that this position here basically revolves around Black's ability to play f6. If they can play f6, then their pieces can bust out to the king side, and the king will survive. If they can't play f6, then generally they'll get checkmated.
Yeah. And actually, kind of like the last game where we had this fantastic rook coming over, part of the point of f6 is the ability then for lateral protection for Mr. King.
Yeah.
White loses his mind. We say thank you very much. Check to the miserable king. I go back in my little hole. Rook
Critical
f4.
move would have been queen h5 without the bishop sack, right?
Good point. And at that juncture, we probably are going to play f5. I'm doing pretty good too. We could have played f5 also at this point if we had wanted to. So yeah, this is just fully losing their mind. Fully losing their mind. And by the way, I think even stronger here, you're afraid of rook h4, just go bang, and then you got this business covered. Completely winning. Notice how this chump ain't doing nothing. This chump ain't doing nothing. Queen e8. You're doing
the force is 50% chumps.
Oh, here we go. Oh, baby, give me that.
Oh, black's got a lot of pieces on the king side now.
Yeah. Rook h3, baby. Bang. Oh. Bang. Welcome to the dojo.
That's complicated.
No, well done. Okay. That was really good, Scott. Yeah. And one of the cool things is about this is, you played some opening you didn't, he played some opening you didn't know about, and he didn't understand the ideas. But it's not time to do the openings, just principles at this point, principles, my friends. Because until you get to 1,000, it's all going to be decided by people hanging stuff. Like they're going to play some bishop h7 on you. Okay.
To me, Jesse, the key thing, it doesn't, when somebody blunders, we see it and we talk about it, right? When they don't blunder, it's not as obvious that that's the key factor. But I feel like Scott/Grand Matty kind of won this game because they didn't blunder anything when things got hot. Like in this final situation, like when white played g takes f5, my first instinct was, whoa, that's complicated. And, they successfully calculated and took on g3. And that whole sequence after bishop h7, queen h5, the bishop sack's not good, but I've seen that bishop sack work many times in similar situations, at a 1,000 to 1,200 level. Black brought the pieces towards the king side, calculated correctly the threats that they needed to deal with, and calculated quite cleanly in the last few moves there.
Absolutely. Absolutely, yeah. Dave, we got to do this grad show more often, man. We got to do it together.
Yeah.
OCO says, seems to hang pieces a lot less than normally. That seems to make me go on a winning streak. There we go. We've been talking about it. Gained 71 ELO points on my Lead Chess account the last 2 weeks. I've stepped up my time on tactics more the last 2 weeks and focused more on not hanging my pieces each move. Good.
Not blundering is like privilege, Jesse. It's like privilege. You don't see it. You don't see the not blundering. And yet then suddenly, you've got everything and you're living the life.
Well, that's right. And then you get all these badges. The privilege leads to the badges.
Oh my, that's a collection.
And look at the rating graph too, man.
Yeah.
Dang, he's just crushing.
They have been a critical component in the dojo gaining 150,000 rating points. 150,000 served, folks, in the training program.
And a very nice heat map, too. Yeah. This heat map thing, I'm coming around to it. Yeah. So, yeah, this is really the first grad show, actually, I've done where I've been able to really look at the heat map. So that's great.
Although I was on stream working yesterday, Jesse, and somebody was like, Pruess, I've noticed your heat map doesn't look very hot.
Well, one thing about mine, Pruess, is I do, like, for example, now I'm doing this book, The Woodpecker thing, right? And I could, I guess, put, like, write it out when I get a chapter. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do it all at once, and it's going to be like 80 hours. And then I'm going to get like a little notification to be like, that's a lot of hours. Are you sure you want to do it? I'm like, yeah, it took me about 80 hours, maybe more. I'll try to actually calculate how many hours I did, but
I see.
Anyways,
in my case, it was useful shame because, accurate shame because, with the move, I just haven't done a lot of chess study. I'm still
Mm.
getting stuff out of boxes, finding chess boards and books and stuff.
Right, right. Okay, look at this. Danish dojo. Now I wonder, is the Danish actually a thing in Denmark? That's maybe a question. And do they play the Danish gambit? That's another question.
It says here that a Danish is called a wienerbrot,
A
which
Wienerbrot.
which I think means bread from, the capital of Austria,
You're right. Well, that's not cool.
Wien.
So let's see how they did it for this cohort.
In France, they're also sometimes called viennoiserie, which means stuff from Vienna. It's interesting.
Dude, I'm reading this great book right now about the French Revolution. It goes deep, dude. It goes deep. It's called Citizens, and it's really well written. And oh my God, dude, really intense. Ooh. Anyways, okay.
Nice.
Different story. So, but this is what OCO did to get there. That's a good breakdown right there. That's what it should look like. I have a feeling we got some games. We do. Here we go. Boom.
Yeah. My pie chart looks a bit like OCO's, by the way. It's pretty big sea of yellow.
So, oh, wait a second. This one says that
You
I
just-
already did this one.
Whew.
Wait a second.
You've seen this game before?
Well, that's what it's kind of saying. Yeah, so he hasn't done any recently. This is from
This game is from the last graduation already, you're saying.
Yeah, that's one.
July. That's not that long ago. The graduations are coming in fast.
Yeah. Well, OCO, congratulations. I hope you get another game for us.
Yeah. Upload another game.
Upload another game.
Jesse doesn't have a big enough backlog. Bury him.
Oh, here's a
Bury
great.
him.
This is a great pun here, David. Look at this. Rook
Okay, well, switch your
sich.
screen for us, and then
Here we go, boss. Rücksichtlos. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. Me and David are the only ones that get the joke, and as well as Rücksichtlos. So here we go. So,
Nice. I think cross-lingual puns are even better than normal puns, huh?
I had actually never really thought about the word Rücksichtlos too much, but literally it would be without looking back, kind of like without looking, behind yourself, Yeah, just heading forward, not have care in the world. Rücksichtlos. Okay, so Rücksichtlos, he's cruising. His heat map, pathetic. Well, that looks like Pruess's heat map over here. Needs to do some tactics tests. All right, let's see if we got the No, he needs to be in the German dojo. We got some games? We got one. Okay. By International LT. This one is played a long time ago. Let's see what's going on here. Have I done this one? No, I haven't done this one yet. Now, here, I'm going to do this here just to show you. I'm going to change screens in a second, but we'll just look at the total time used for a second.
No.
And not bad. We'll see here. It ended pretty quick, actually. So actually, for 19 moves, that's a reasonable amount of time to spend. Okay, so let's get into it here. This is Rücksichtlos. Boom. Good move. Boom. And now bishop b5. Right. This is what I'd call a theoretical position in is bishop b5 a mistake? No, I don't think it's got to be okay. Now, let me just say I've played the French all my life, and there's a bunch of different, nuances here, and I'm not going to get into it. If we were talking about an 1800 level game, I'd get into it. But the point here is I just want to see development, and this is development. Boom, Boom. And yeah, let's talk about principles of development and not theory. The correct move here is not takes, because when you take, you are helping the bishop on f8. Now, yeah, correct. You're helping the bishop on f8.
I had this bishop b5 line in a U.S. championship once as black. So I know that it's actually opening theory, but I share the assessment that it's not a line that lights up my fires. I would never play it as white. I don't like the bishop b5 move.
Right. And just from a theoretical perspective, the correct move here, though, would be pop. And then we actually get a very interesting, this is a known variation.
Yeah.
With a lot of theory behind it. Yeah. Okay, this bishop d7, maybe it's playable. In any case, let's do this.
That's what I played as black.
dc, not great, because now the bishop gets out for free. So what would have been better? Castling.
Yeah.
dc, bishop c5, castles. Good move. Good move. Now we have a choice. He goes there. And I totally agree with you. Bishop e7 looks a little bit more plausible, because now we say, check to the miserable king. Oh, yeah. And then white coat totally blows it here, knight e5. Has to play something like bishop e7. Yeah. And then what do we do? Bang! Yeah, what do we do? Bang! Check to the miserable king. It's a yard sale now, my friends.
Ay, ay, ay.
Oh, look at that. He doesn't even take the knight. He's like, I'm going to pin it bows.
So white's knight maintains its outpost on d7.
Oh, look at this crew. Just queen d5, crushing. Oh, look at this. He's not even going to trade queens when he's up. He's just going to, oh, God, take it all. Ah! Or queen d7, he says. Okay. Well, that was a good game. That was a
or
good
queen
game.
d7, yeah. I approve with developing the last piece there.
And you guys can see, this is why at this point we don't want to be talking about all this theory. Me and David like to talk about this theory schmeary, but come on. It's, first we get a check for free, and then bam, they blunder in their business. Okay, so that's what these people need to focus on until, you always want to focus on not hanging your stuff, but basically the gateway to get over 1,000 is to not hang your stuff. Grand Trier has been on this show multiple times. I'm going to switch the scene here.
Nice.
Grand Trier has been on this show many times, and he says, Dojo is the real deal, no fluff. Just trust the process and get your stuff done. In terms of what could be improved, maybe a more structured way to pair folks to conduct the plus and minus reviews would be good. Okay, fair. And oh my God, let me just say, we got so many things that are on our to-do list.
Yeah. But that's one of the things
of the things, man.
I've brought up before, and that is under discussion at some point to help connect people with the plus, minuses, and equals.
Yeah.
For some of those tasks they do together.
I definitely think it's also an example of one of the things that we had grand plans for, and then it just kind of there's just other things came, it took priority, like this ratings thing. Oh my gosh. Okay, so here we go, Lichess Classical. This might be a moment to actually say, Grand Trier, that you might get a message demoting you. This might be very painful to you. But basically what we've discovered, okay, because we have to redo the ratings because FIDE really screwed everything up. So we're going to have to normalize it. But then while we ran the numbers on it, our very own nose discovered that the Lichess is incredibly inflated. So if you have a Lichess rating, you might find yourself demoted. Yeah. Be it not surprising to find yourself demoted.
Like when we'd done the Lichess ratings, when we'd normalized them, so to speak, 2.5 years ago, they had been like 400 to 450, 500 maybe points above FIDE. And now it looks like they're maybe 800 points above what FIDE used to be. P-Day's come up too now, but you know, the numbers upon which we based the tasks and